everyone, Sandy here. Welcome to my channel and Happy New Year. I hope you're off to a good start for the new year of 2023 and are ready to do some more crafting with me and Country Craft Creations. I have here for you today my third project that I have designed using the Christmas paper collection called Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Christmas Lodge 12 by 12 collection that I received in my last design team package with Country Craft Creations. As a designer, we are required to create, if possible, 3 projects out of our design team package. The one being the main project with a tutorial is usually an album or folio or like a box set album or something like that, a larger project. And then when we have scraps left over, we're to make 2 smaller projects that do not have to have a tutorial, but since I don't have a blog, I like to share my projects on YouTube for my YouTube subscribers as well as those of you on Facebook. So I usually do a show and tell video or process video or sometimes a real short little tutorial video. So this one is not necessarily a tutorial because tags, you don't have to have a tutorial to make a tag, but it's a process video so that you could see how I did it, and then maybe you want to make something similar with some of your scraps. So again, this is my third project using the Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Christmas Lodge paper collection that I received in my last design team package from Country Craft Creations. So stay tuned for more details on how I made it. To create this winter tag out of leftover Christmas paper collection, I have laying out here the things that I think that I will want to use. Now I am using the scraps from the leftovers from my album project and 12 by 12 layout project that I did as a design team member for Country Craft Creations. So what I have here is some of the scraps. The only thing I had big enough for this tag was this green check. So that's what we're going to go with, see what we can make that is more winter looking than Christmas. So I'm using a graphic 45 tag that I had in my stash. This is called the regular tag, and they come with the metal grommets already in. And to add pattern paper to these, I use the graphic 45's die specifically for this tag. This die is not to make tags out of, but to cut layers of paper to fit the graphic 45 tags. I know a lot of people get confused about that. You could use this to make a tag, but then you're not going to be able to use that to mat your the base. So that's the die I used for that. And so I've cut 2, one for the front and one for the back. And as you see, it layers perfectly right there over that tag. So I've got my glue here. I'm going to go ahead and glue the patterned, the green check to the front and back of my graphic 45 tag here. And this is a really good size. There's different sizes of the graphic 45 tags. There's different colors. I don't know what's still available from graphic 45. These are some that I had in my stash, and I've had quite a few of them. And I like to use them from time to time for tags or closures on albums. So this one you put on the front, and then we put one here on the back. So it's a little bigger around the back, but that's okay. We're going to be putting ribbon in there. So let me get my glue on here so we can get this patterned. Now, if I'd had enough of the black and white check, I probably would have gone with that, but I didn't. So we're going to go with this green one, and I think it'll work just fine. So that's the back side. Now I'm going to go ahead and from a dies, these were some stitched rectangles that I had, so I used 2 so that I could get a frame. I'm going to make a shaker, so I wanted to cut one out, and I cut it out of this pattern like this one, which is the back side of the black. I did have a size big enough for that. So I made a frame, so it's got the little stitching around it of that. So that's going to go in there for the shaker. And then I cut a piece that's going to go back behind here. I'm going to use the red. Now I could use this one, but then I thought, well, that would put a lot of the black in there, but I do like that black and green in there. So let's lay it on there. This is the piece that came out of the center. So that would go like that. You know what? I kind of like that instead of the red. So I'm going to go with that. So I want to glue this here on the front. Make sure I'm on the front side of my tag, and I'm going to center it. So this is going to be the background for the shaker pieces that I'm going to use. So I'm going to put some of this on right here. Let's try to center it. I'm going to put it up more right about here, I think. Okay, so that looks pretty straight. Now then, I'm going to get my shaker bits. Now this is going to go over that. I've already built this up. I added my acetate piece in here that fit. Then I put my little foam strips on there that I have. You can get these from Country Craft Creations. I'm using the white. They've got adhesive on the front and the back. And so that's going to fit right over that like that. So I have this mix of sparklets from Country Craft Creations, and it's from Buttons Galore and more. And this was the December Dream because it has the little clear bits, like the little rhinestone looking pieces, and some snowflakes. So I'm going to put a little bit here, whoops, right there in the center. Maybe not all of them, not all the big ones, like a lot of snowflakes. And then I'm going to maybe look for some red, because I'm using that red in there. Maybe some seed beads. Put that, one of those snowflakes there. So I'm going to push that to the center. These I'll put back in my bag. And I'm going to go grab some, see if I have some red little tiny beads. So I have these in my stash. And just grab a pinch of the little red seed beads, kind of sprinkle some in there, and grab the ones that escape right here. Now, a lot of times you can just put this on the inside of your frame of your acetate, but I want to make sure that I get this down as straight as possible. So I'm going to put all these guys to the center, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull my backing off the foam. And when you're putting your foam tape on, make sure there's no gaps. You make sure it's completely butted up to each other, because you don't want any of your little shaker things escaping from the space you've created, the frame you've created for them. Pull those off. Okay, one more. Okay. Now then, I'm going to look at my frame, and then I'm going to place this as straight as I can right over that piece. Look at it before I drop it down. Press it down all the way around. And there's that shaker piece there, and they shake pretty good in there. Okay. Some will catch the side of the foam, but for the most part. And I didn't put a whole lot in there because I kind of still want to see in the back there. So I like how that turned out. Okay. Now then, let's do some stuff here on the front. Let's go ahead and put some ribbon and string. So I had in my stash this white seam binding that has been crinkled up for some time now. And I'm going to fold this in half and cut off a bit of it. And I'm going to thread this through the grommet here, bring it to the top like that. And then I wanted to take this silver and white twine that I had. I'm going to tie that around it. good piece of it because I want to make a bow. These are my ribbon scissors. There. Okay. So I lay that twine around the ribbon here, and I'm going to just tie a knot here at the top, and then I'll tie a bow like this. Okay. Tie a double knot. And then tie a bow there like that. Pull it really tight. Give it maybe a little bigger loops so it can kind of lay down like that. And then I'm going to tie a knot in the end of this one, and then I'll tie a knot in the end of the one that I'm going to cut down because I don't want it to ravel completely out. So we'll trim this a little bit. Okay, so I don't like this. Bring the tail down a little bit. Play with my twine bow a little bit. So we have that. Okay. Then I had this really pretty cream colored, kind of silvery rickrack, and I don't know, kind of like that. I might want to tie some of that in there. So I'm going to stick this through because this grommet is nice and big. And I'm going to bring this around, pull these apart right there. I'm going to bring this in and tie a bit of it in there to kind of throw that in. And I had some lace here, but I don't know if I'll use the lace. So just go to your stash and whatever you have in ribbons and things that are more wintry, sparkly looking maybe, even though I have the green and the red, I'm still going with more of a wintry color. So this collection didn't have a lot of blues. Blues would have been pretty, and the black and the white would have been pretty if I'd had enough of that, but I didn't. So these are the same length, I think. Okay, so there's that for now. Now what I have here is this one strip here that's red. And I think I'm going to glue that on right here. The bottom. I'll kind of lay that in there, and I'm going to wrap it around. Bring it up and underneath, kind of. Make sure it's even on the bottom. Wrap it around. And I'm going to match it up. Some of that off, and then we'll just glue this down. So this was just a scrap that was already cut. That's width and length, but it worked. Put that one down, and then this one over it. Okay. So there's that one on the back. There's that. And then I had these redbirds. Now I didn't know if I wanted to use the redbird here. I like the big one. Then I also had the one that was a layered sticker. Now see, this one has Christmas wishes, so we couldn't use that, but we could take it apart and use some of the flowers maybe. So let's see, let's take the Merry Christmas off. Let me see here. play with it and see what it looks like. Because those flowers can definitely not be Christmas. Oh, I like that kind of with the bigger bird. So I'm going to put glue where it says Christmas wishes. We don't want to use that. And we're going to lay this bigger piece right over that. And it does extend a little bit on the end. That gives it a lot of dimension there, real quick and real easy. Now then, I could have put some of this rickrack right there, which I still can. So I'm going to put a line of that. Sometimes in my layering, I just, add some things after the fact. It's just the way, sometimes you don't see it until you've got something else already down. So I've glued this one on right there. Whoops. Got to hold it down and let it grab for a minute. Okay. Press it down. And we're going to bring it around to the back. I think I'm going to have to put some more glue on it. It's got that sparkly stuff on it, so it needs more. A little heavier on the glue. Trust me, it will stick. Art glitter glue will hold it down. It just has to give it a chance to grab and have enough glue there to do that. Okay, maybe I'll let that dry for just a second. Okay, so while my rickrack dried, I wrapped it around and attached it to the back too. Of course, I've tied some in here, and then I added went ahead and added that piece of lace. I like that little lace in there, and another piece of the white seam binding to make it fuller. And then because I want to make it really sturdy right here on this bottom piece, I added 1, 2, 3, 4 of my foam squares. Yeah, these from Country Craft Creations, 3D foam strips. Well, that's the foam strips. Never mind. 3D. These are 3D foam squares. Got it in the wrong package. But anyway, I glued that underneath to give it some support right there. And I like how that turned out. So we've got the shaker there. We've got that. Then on the front, I have these hearts. And I'm going to put, I think the red one, well, maybe the black one. I like the black there too. So I'm just going to glue the heart, layer this on there, using up a lot of the bits and pieces that I have. Put the heart right there, and then I'm going to put one up here on the corner. Okay, just like that to bring that kind of red color in there. It's really pretty like that. And then we have, of course, we have these decorative brads that have the foam on the back of them. And so I think I'm going to put the green one here, or maybe I'm going to put a row of them. I think I'm going to put a row of them here. Change my mind. I'm going to put 3 different ones. 1, 2, 3. Drop with glue, spaced apart. So I have the green one here, 1, and the darker one, the black, and then the red. Just 3 dots of color right there like that. I think that's pretty like that. Then I'm going to flip it over and carefully on the back, I went back to my scraps and I had this cut apart. Of course, it says glad tidings we bring, so that's Christmassy. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the greenery part. I trimmed it down a little bit to fit right here, rounded the corners with a 1/4 inch corner rounder, and I'm going to glue this down because I want to finish the back and make it pretty too. So we're going to add this right in here, kind of center it. Okay. Make sure it's straight. Okay. Burnish that down. Now this is going to cover up. What this was another cut apart. I trimmed it down. It's got the journaling lines. I folded it in half. We're going to see the black and white of the deer and the foliage. So I'm going to glue this back side down, the back half, and I did use the 1/4 inch corner rounder on the 2 bottom corners. Put that right here. It fits right in between, down a ways from there. Okay, so when this flips open, we're going to have a place to write a message. So now then, and because it has this green here, I was going to glue this on the bottom to finish that off, but I don't have to because I left that piece there like that. So that still looks good like that. I was going to put some string here, so I may still do that. I have this heart. I'm just going to glue that one right there. This is the brown wooden one. Just put glue on the top 2 pieces of the heart, so it kind of sticks off just a little bit. Okay, and then I was going to put this man with the flower. Let's see, get heavier. Put this one larger one here right in the center. Give it a little bit of weight. It's got one of those flowers there in the brad, the decorative brad, like that. So it's not going to hold it down completely flat, but enough that it's not sticking way up. And then if I burnish this more here, it's going to lay down a lot flatter. Okay, so there's that. Don't know if I want anything across here. I don't think so. Unless I put, I don't have any more of that lace left. I think I used it all. I'll think about that. Oh, the rickrack could go there. Piece of rickrack right there. It's kind of pretty, or above. Let's put it above. So I'm going to put glue right here. I'm going to trim this rickrack just a little bit. Make it even right there. I'm going to stick it down. See where it needs cut. Okay, press it on. I just think that gives that little bit of sparkle. Very pretty there. Okay, so I think I want something in red twine, so I'm going to grab that. Okay, so I went and grabbed my red button string, jute string, and I punched 2 tiny little holes in just the front side at the very top here of this flap here. See it right there? 2 little holes, threaded it through, tied it in a bow, tied the knots on the ends of the strings, and then I glued one of the little rhinestones from the shaker mix right in the center. So that's what the back looks like of the tag. Flip it over, and because I was getting my jute string, I went in my Christmas stash and found this snowflake ornament, and I tied a red jute string through it, and I think I'm going to glue it right here on the side of the shaker. So the glue's going to go just right here on the center part, and probably right here on the top, maybe a little right there to kind of secure it. I'm going to lift this up and very carefully place it on the frame, and then let that string hang there. We got the ribbons. We got the heart up there. Let that dry. We got the shaker going on. And I don't think there's anything else I need to add unless I want to put some kind of saying here with tape things. So I'm going to see what I've got there, like say winter wishes or something like that. So I remembered I had the sheet of stickers, and it had this one tag sticker that said warm wishes, so I added that there. So that finishes off this tag. I really love how it turned out with the different layers here and the snowflake, the ribbons, and then on the back We have this part where you can write a message. So this is a really simple, fun, but elegant winter style tag that you can make from your scraps of Christmas paper collections. So remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the bell so you know when my next projects are coming up. I will have some new projects coming up for January. My design team package is on its way from Country Craft Creations. I'll be having a haul video of what I'm going to be working on in a few days. As soon as it comes in, I'll do a video to share with you what I'll be working on. So do that, subscribe to the channel, give me a like so that it will help my channel to grow and more people will be exposed to my tutorials. Share with your family and friends that love to craft. And as always, remember to shop at countrycraftcreations.com. Thank you, everybody, and I'm looking forward to creating with you again this year. Thanks. Bye-bye.